Welcome everyone back to Pommy and Oz. Hope we're all doing really well. If you're new around here, do me a favour, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. We are churning out the content at the moment. We are churning out the subscribers. The support in the off-season has been really, really good. We are the channel that never sleeps. We always do try and provide a service for you. That being said, if you want to become a member of the channel, you can do that. You get early access to the videos. We've got members live streams, which will be starting just around the Christmas period again, as we are hectic. Spend a bit of time with you, have a bit of a chill out. We've got some special things coming up. We've got a members only training review, live Q&A. So stay tuned for details on that. So if you can do that, it costs a cup of the coffee. It really helps the channel out. So stay tuned for that. And in the year, members will be getting access to a rolling weekly draft review and off-season content as well. So that's going to be real hot next year. A lot of draft throughout the year. We're going to be probably the only channel and the only outlet that will do a rolling draft from January. So check out that. We're here with Gold Coast though to see what they've done with the off-season and prep what will start in the new year with individual team profiles with special guests from opposition and my own club, Carlton. So stay tuned for that. Gold Coast, what did they lose this year? Well, they lost Jed Anderson, Sam Day, he was re-picked up, Brodie McLaughlin, Jeremy Sharp and Jake Steen. They left as delisted, obviously with Sam Day coming back on the rookie list. Blakey and Constable, they retired. And Chris Burgess, Maribor Cho, Elijah Hollands, they were traded out, leaving Gold Coast list 24.7 years old. That's the 9th oldest list. And the 10th most experienced was 69.8. A real interesting proposition. And Dimmer's there now. Obviously, Gold Coast to that team every year. Thankfully, my team are no longer in this conversation of, is it this year? And Gold Coast are probably the last team that we can have that conversation. Is it this year that they finally make finals? And age, experience-wise, they're well in the bracket. We would expect them to push on. With Dimmer in, we expect them to get better. Obviously, he is a very good football coach. They're a real intriguing prospect. And again, a bit like Geelong and a few teams that we'll talk about to come, it's very hard to say for definite, are they going to be in? It's going to be a very interesting one. And I'll look forward to analysing them. But what did they bring in? Jed Walter came in. And obviously this kid here is a special talent. And they don't make players like this every day. Jed Walters came in through their system. And this kid is as close to ready-made excitement as you can expect. Very, very good aerially. Very strong. 194, 97 kegs. In the Suns Academy games over 2 years, 9 games, 13.9 touches, 4.3 marks, 2.9 tackles, 2.8 goals. This kid knows where the onion bag is. And he's very physical. He's got a sweet set shot. His contested marking, his one-on-one marking is incredible. And he's already ready-made for one-on-one football with men. In the terms of he leads defenders where he wants to take them. He's a very, very proficient player one-on-one. But he also does the team things as well. The team things very well. And he's got a real ominous presence about him, which the top forwards do. A la Charlie Curnow, a la Jeremy Cameron. This kid's going to be purely dancer. And Ben King and Jed Walter as a combination is as exciting as we see in today's game. It's going to be exciting. Like, why are you tuning to see my team, Mackay and Mr. Charlie Curnow? Why are you tuning to see Geelong, Cameron and Hawkins? This is that kind of combination where, on paper, it is dangerous. And 2 young players with a lot to prove. I'm really excited about seeing Jed. He is class and could have been pick 1 in his own right. Up next, they took Ethan Reid on the academy match system. And the wonderful thing about Ethan Reid is this kid here is everything that we expect to see from, well, basically from the ruckman that we see in this competition. 202 and 92 kegs. And as you can see, again, for the Gold Coast Academy, in the last couple of years, 7 games, 17.4 disposals, 4.4 marks, 2.1 tackles, 15.7 hit out. Is he ready year one? Probably not, but he will be fed time, and he is learning off one of the greats in the game in Jarrod Witts. It's really important to know that two of the standouts and the points of difference of Ethan Reid are one is aerobic capacity. He gets up and down the ground incredibly hard, and his second efforts because of that are absolutely sensational. But the other one is his ability to use the ball. 75% efficiency with his use, and that is incredibly strong. That is really high for a ruckman, and he ain't scared of taking the game on. And you watch him, and he has got something there. And learning off Jarrod, who, for me, Witts built into his career incredibly well. 2 years with him, this kid can absolutely learn it. And even though he's 202, his ground ball game is sensational. For the under-18 championships, these numbers are even higher, 21.3 and 7.5 marks. The guy is an absolute product, And this is a generational ruckman you are looking at. An incredible acquisition. And you can see why people are upset about the academies. Of all the kids, though, that they took, this one was the one that I was big fan of. Jake Rogers is Tom Liberatore reincarnate, in my opinion. He is incredibly clean, incredibly strong, and don't let his height deceive you. 170 and 68 kegs. He is incredibly quick. He is an absolute thug in the contest. Breakaway speed. He's bold. He's brash. 7 games for the academy. 22.4 touches. 2.7 marks. This kid here can play footy, and I'm incredibly excited about seeing what he brings to the AFL. He's really solid, and especially at the under 18 level, he was another level with 5 inside 50s, 2.3 score involvements. He's incredibly clean and agile. He's one of them players that if he played in mud, he'd come out totally clean. He is really strong. Working with Tuck Miller, that really excites me because I feel like this could be the Tuck Miller. He's got so many facets. The only difference is his size. He learns off Tuck Miller, who in my opinion is one of the best players around stoppage with his direct running patterns at the back of the stoppage. Jake Rogers has got that, an incredible talent. I can't wait to see him play in the AFL system. And another one, they just seem to be churning them out, don't they? Will Graham, defender and a midfielder. Spent a lot more time in the midfield this year. 186 and 81 kegs. The 5 games over the 2 years, and it was only this year as well. 19.4 touches, 3.4 marks, 6.4 tackles, 0.2 goals a game. And he's got something about him as this kid. Incredibly clean, and it's really noticeable that the academy players, even Jed Walter, their ball use is incredibly good. And it seems to be a real focus of their academy coaches over the last couple of years that we're seeing them churn them out. Very strong in the air, 186 and 81 kegs. And he's got this real inside ball about him. And I look at him and think that he's got incredible speed as well. 2.9 seconds in the 20 metres, but he's big. And I reckon this guy will fill out to about a 90. And I want you to think of players like Taylor Adams here. Taylor Adams. I see a lot of Taylor Adams. See a bit of Jack Crisp in him, but that kind of guy that will go into the midfield and be an enforcer. And I think that this is his future. And working with Rowell and Anderson, that makes that midfield exciting. Don't sleep on Jake Rogers and Will Graham just because they haven't got the hype. In my opinion, these two have got real scope to be really a big part of Gold Coast. And just quietly, they're building a dynasty list. A dynasty list, particularly this draft, and it's going to be really exciting. I'm a big fan of Will Graham. Check him out. The highlights are sensational as well. There is a few games as well floating around the YouTube. Sam Closey comes in next as you're kind of a mature age. He's only a couple of years older, but 189, 77 kegs, halfback flanker and the modern day halfback flanker. And probably since Harbrow went and stuff, they haven't had that kind of player that you look at down the back and you think he can change a game. And they've had injuries to Powell and players like that who do that job. Brendan Ellis is now playing more as a predominant winger. Sam Closey, don't sleep on him because his ability to break lines is insane. 16.8 touches in the 21 games this year. 5.6 marks, 2.8 tackles, 2.8 rebound 50s. His ability to intercept and hit targets. And I look at him as he's a very IGA Tom Stewart is how I describe him. I think there's something here that I wouldn't be surprised to see him get game time very early. His ability to attack the high ball and then get it going through the midfield is really incredible. And I really like how he matches up on the big guys and the small guys as well. Very affluent at playing them both roles. Real one to watch for me. They also brought in Jack Mahoney and the pressure forward, and probably they lack a pure pressure forward. Nick Holman does it, and no disrespect to Nick Holman, he's honest, but Jack Mahoney adds that competition there, and at 177.73 kegs, these are his VFL games for here, and it's very important that he played a lot of midfield time and a bit of a POD, and we know that Dimmer likes these points of difference. He likes floating a forward in there when it gets tough, and that's something that's shone in the VFL for North in the recent competition. His ability to find the ball, but also get the ball out of there, get it forward, gaining territory. And when you look at the dangerous forward line that they have, a real key pillar. He also adds a bit of AFL experience, and I was surprised Jack Mahoney left North. I feel like there's something to work with there. Pressure forwards are very unpopular, but very in vogue, and I feel like that's a staple of Dimmer's game. He likes to play two of them genuinely. I feel like Jack Mahoney will get minutes, and he'll also improve the standard. And I really like this one here. Imagine Jack Mahoney with goal kicking now. So Will Rowlands can swing through the midfield. Was incredible for Norwood's under 18s. Really stood out. And look at his under 18s numbers for Norwood. And they're tough in Sandful. 10 games, 19.4 touches, 4.1 marks, 2.7 tackles, 1.7 goals. A real goal thief. And there is a lot of real hidden gems this year in the under 18s in the small forward role. And Will Rowlands is that guy that I'm looking at and just thinking, Gold Coast nailed this draft period. Okay, they got some handouts for 4 of their players if you want to be that type of person. But look at what they picked up with their own picks. They absolutely nailed this out of the park. Gold Coast are a threat and instantly are in the conversation of the top 10. Looking ahead, now I've said that I wasn't going to cheat, right? But it would be amiss of me to not talk about this guy. Picks on next year, they've got their own first, North Melbourne's first, which should be a top 3 pick. Bulldogs pick, which is probably going to be a top 10 pick. Brisbane Lions second, their second and a third. They've already started to get this. Leonardo Lombardo will be a top 5 pick next year. And boy oh boy, Tuck Miller is back, baby. This kid here, what he can do with a football is exciting, and I'm surprised there isn't more hype about him. He's quick, he finds space in a crowded elevator, he uses the ball with a precision-like ability, and he's given goals, and his ability to take goals from nothing is insane. Leonardo is absolutely bob-on, a quality player, and making already a very fearsome midfield. 24.8 touches already as a bottom major, 5 games, 3.8 marks, 3.6 tackles, and just under a goal a game. A 178.76. Probably when he comes into the AFL system, it's going to be 82 kegs, 182. Let's give him 4 centimetres of growth. This kid here is exciting. I cannot wait to see this guy in the big time. He's going to be, mark my words now, a footballer and a half. Tuck Miller's 178, remember? This kid here is the future Tuck Miller. Everything Tuck Miller does, this guy can do. And in my opinion, potentially a higher ceiling. A dangerous footballer. Absolute filth what he does. Make sure you check out the Allies and Gold Coast Suns Academy next year, because this kid can play football and I can't wait to see him in the system. Developing a little bit of a soft spot, it has to be said, for Gold Coast kids. There it is. And let's have a look at what maybe next year will hold. I don't think many changes, but there is a few names here that are going to be in there. I think Jed Walters will break in. As you can see, he's named on the interchange bench. Alex Davis's versatility, I feel like he's a lock. Swallow and Nick Holman, again, that is a question mark, because I think Mahoney and players like that may usurp him. Rowlands is one. Their followers, Witts, Rao and Miller, I think that they'll go with the solo ruck, maybe pinch it. Feel like they'll pinch it, their second ruck this year. I genuinely do, and few players will get minutes. But from the back, Sam Collins, McAndrew and Buderick. McAndrew, I'm really excited about seeing his development. He is a very dangerous player. And another year in the system, I'm really excited about what he feels. Joe Jeffries, Charlie Ballard and Will Powell, they'll really be happy that they've got Powell back. And I love Joe Jeffries, a little bit of zip down there. Lockie Weller and Ellis, these are positions here that I feel like players can break into. And I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Noah Anderson, Sam Flanders, Jack Lacocious and Ben Ainsworth. Ben Ainsworth impresses me and he doesn't get the kudos. Real poacher. and Rosas Jr. and Bailey Humphrey with Ben King there, that is a top 8 team. Question marks maybe with their backline, their keys. They could be maybe a little bit better, but I feel like that they will do something to address that in the off-season coming up. But working with Rance, Mac Andrew working with Rance really excites me. That's Gold Coast. Let me know what you think. If you are a Gold Coast fan, how did I do? Much love, everyone. Let's open the discussion. See you next time. Pom out.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad.